Burning Witches have released their latest album called The Dark Tower on May 5th, released on Napalm Records. And right away, there should be a law passed. If you're a fan of classic heavy metal, it's mandatory. This is a must listen. You have to listen to this album immediately. And it should be passed, and there should be jail time served if you don't, because it's that freaking good, man. This thing is so much energy. It's definitely a throwback. There's nothing really new or original here. But okay, so let's say you have this perfect wheel. It's perfect. The wheel itself is perfection. Why do you need to go mess with it? You don't. It's cool when you do sometimes, and it may turn out good. But you don't always need to mess with it. If you got a perfect wheel, man, use that wheel, and it's gonna take you places, man. And this is what they did. They took this format, they took the perfect wheel, and they embellished it a little bit. Maybe they bedazzled it a little bit, man, and put their own stamp on this thing. But the energy is contagious throughout this entire album. I love it, man. It puts you in a place, it puts you in a time, but yet it still sounds fresh at this very moment. But if you live that time, man, it puts you right there where you're fist pumping, man. There's some very anthemic fist pumping songs on here that you're just like, yeah. And yet there are some really darker songs here, some really evil sounding dark songs that sound more doomy and more along the Black Sabbath train. But there's a lot of Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Saxon, Black Sabbath, all those bands can be heard throughout here, but it's not a complete ripoff. It's not like that. There was this band a couple years ago, maybe it was last year, they released an album. It was a good album. I enjoyed it, and yet it felt like you felt a little cheated because it was such an Iron Maiden clone, such a ripoff, that it was like, man, they're trying to make a old school Iron Maiden album, which it sounded good. I liked it better than Iron Maiden's album they released that same year, but you still felt cheated a little bit. This, though, you don't feel cheated at all. It's definitely got their own stamp, their own thing they do to it. It sounds original, but it's such a great classic sound, man. The guitars on this are off the charts, man. The riffage is phenomenal. The soloing is great. You got that great twin guitar harmonizing going on, trading solos on and off like old school Priest. It's that cool. It sounds great. The drumming on here too is just off the charts good. Just frenetic and just energetic as anything you might listen to this whole entire year. The vocalist, I didn't look up the names. It's an all-female metal band. Doesn't matter, but I'd never mentioned that. The vocalist, I don't know what her name is, but she's so good, man. She's got a ton of range. She's got this raspy growl to her voice. It just sounds so good. But she can do everything. And the vocals are fantastic. They pop right out. But, it's old school metal, classic heavy metal, done the best I've heard in years. I love this album. Can't get enough of it. Burning Witches, The Dark Tower, man. As far as song suggestions, I suggest listening to the entire album. Yeah, the entire album. It's all great songs. 13 songs. There's a few little Rise of Darkness and House of Blood. They're both little intros, so they don't really count. They're just little mood enhancers. The rest of it, though, phenomenal. There's even a touch of progressive prog elements, just a little bit, maybe into the unknown. And Lost Souls, maybe just a touch, but it's just, I love this album. If you can't tell, check it out. Listen to it, man. It's that good. Thanks.